Hi, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and I'm back with my guys today. Hello, Damon Williams. How are you?
Doing fine and great. How are you, Sybil Wilkes?
I'm just dandy. Thank you. And hello, young Cameron Riley. How are you?
Hello, Sybil Wilkes. Hello, Damon Williams. I'm well.
Good. I like referring to people by both names. I don't know why. I've always done that. And it's not that, I don't desire to have a comfortable relationship with you guys. It's just, sometimes I just say Damon Williams or Cameron Riley or, something like that. So
It's
Sometimes
good
it
for
rolls
the
off the
brand,
tongue.
Sybil. Yeah, it's good for our brands.
Okay.
Let them find us.
Okay.
And nice to talk to you, Cameron. Really glad that you're on here today, just so I can have some masculine energy. My house is full of female energy. Let me explain. My mother-in-law is here to help Juanita with Malika and the baby Ava, and then we got two girl dogs. And then And then they watching the Maury or the Steve Wilkos, whatever his name was, and it was women arguing. It felt like it was 19 women in my house.
Oh
So,
my
hey, Cameron,
gosh.
what's going on, bro?
Hello, Damon. Good evening. Nice to
and,
be
and
here.
and Cameron, you understand that often in a house full of women too, right?
I do. I grew up around women my whole life. My grandmother, my mother, my aunt. It's been quite some time, but it strengthened me as a man.
It's very enlightening. It helps you be well-rounded. But damn it,
Absolutely.
excuse my language.
We're
I
doing
think I'm
so
gonna go.
well.
I think I'm, but
we got 2 minutes in.
1 minute and 30 seconds. Your fault.
but darn it, let me tell you.
No, tell it
think I'm-
like it is, Damon.
I think I'm going to a sports bar when we finish this just to get the testosterone.
Damon, how is it that you have such a house full of women today?
It's every day now, so that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh,
So Juanita is chilling, she's recuperating. So her
Mhm.
mom has come over to help. And then of course Malika has moved back home after her pregnancy and
And
with
the
the baby so we can
baby.
help her because she started back to work. So
Oh.
it's all women. Then there's two dogs. Not only do I have two dogs, there's two little shih tzus, and that's not cursing. And they have pink and purple tails. And since Juanita is chilling, I have to walk them. Now there's some gangsters on my block, and they got these little sweaters and barrettes and pink and purple tail. I'm gonna get robbed.
You know what, Damon? They'll probably be giving you much respect. She walked down the street. Yo, bro, got the same thing at the crib.
Man, no, my neighbor has pit bulls. It's a Mexican guy, my man Frank,
Oh.
and he's like, can your dogs play with my dogs? Like, my dogs can't play with your dogs.
Oh, Damon, I'm sorry. That is
Don't be
too
sorry.
funny.
It's the price you pay for the good.
That's right. That is absolutely right. And you pay that price and look at you. Just still got a smile on your face. So
I do.
all is good.
I'm out here putting together futons. You understand?
And you're about to have more company, but you're going to get some masculine energy, right?
Masculine energy. We're gonna play PlayStation and Xbox. We're gonna fart, drink beers. It's going down.
you and your stepson.
Yes, but first I got to go to Atlanta, so the men there ain't gonna help me at all. But look, going to the Atlanta Comedy Theater this weekend. So if I go through Lenox Mall, I'm gonna be right back at home.
Okay, quickly. Yeah,
Very nice.
very quickly. Well, hopefully you'll get some of that masculine energy and it'll take you far and then, fill you up when
Yes,
you get home and all of the feminine.
word.
But I think that's great. And I think I couldn't think of a better person besides you and Cameron who exude that kind of masculinity that can withstand all of the feminine energy you have in your homes. So
Indeed.
that's great. You two guys are great examples of maintaining that masculine energy and enjoying the feminine wiles around you.
Absolutely, because mother-in-law does cook now. The only thing is she cooks. She old school, so she frying foods and she's
Oh.
frying pork chops, and so my house smells like pork and poverty right now.
I'm glad that was the other P. So let's move to topical. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. As you both may have heard, I don't know if you have confirmation of this in your lives today, but the president took to the microphones before he traveled to Texas today and said, no more oil from the Russians. Damn it. And he meant it. Although we don't get that much oil from the Russians, we get a lot. I mean, compared to, when you think about what is it, 70,000 barrels of oil from Russia, whereas European countries get 2.5 million barrels of oil from Russia. So it's comparatively small. And most of ours is for gas. We don't get coal or things like that. But anyway, he made this declaration, and he was under a lot of pressure to do this. He was very reluctant to make this declaration and to stop the Russian oil. But it was the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, and it was members of the Congress, both Democrats and Republicans, who said, let's stop the Russian import of oil. And so he did. And he said, there's a price to be paid for it. And of course, the prices are going to get higher as far as our gas prices are concerned. Now, the average, and I'm sure, and then this is just the average, I'm sure it's higher where you guys are because of the taxes. But the average price of a gallon of gas is $4.17.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And in California, it's $8 and a date.
Okay.
That was my edit. There's women out here doing strange things for gas cards. What I'm trying to tell you,
man. That is the truth. And that $8 is not, I mean, if you've seen some of the news stories and in California, and I don't think there's like, it might be in the $7 range some places.
It's close to $7. The premium might be right around like $6.59. I got a group text with all the guys like Deion Cole and D. Ray Davis, Cootie, who did the Kanye film.
Yeah,
they're all on Jay Ivy. So we group text all day. So somebody just posted a picture and it was like $6.49, $6.39, $6.59 out there in California.
Yeah. And I remember when we lived in California, it was heavy in the fours at that time. It was good to get back to Texas. But I paid almost $4 a gallon for premium this past week. So yeah.
Chicago 87 and is $4.39.
Wow.
So yeah. See, that's what I look at, 87. You know what? But it's crazy because some stations are tricky. They don't put the 87 all the way to the left. They put it in the middle.
Right.
So you accidentally pop that 90. And if you hit the 90, then it's $4.69. And then you can't undo it unless you start all over. Ain't nobody gonna do that.
And it's cold outside. You don't want to be doing this, and you just want to, get back in your car.
And it happened to me. So I'm at a place that in the hood, it was more. And so I said, I'm gonna put like $10 in, and just so I get to the suburban gas prices, right? Mm-hmm. But I got a call. So I took the call, I'm sitting in the car, and I forgot. And I heard the click. I'm like, I'm full. Oh man! I done paid the $4.79 for 20 gallons. It was $90 to fill up a car.
A car.
Nobody wants to get full on the 90 on accident.
No, I feel your pain. I feel it.
Well, you drive premium, so you know.
Well, no, I was borrowing someone's car, so I was paying premium for their car. No, really, I promise.
Okay.
And so, because I normally I have a hybrid, so I can take regular gas, but my car is being worked on, so I was borrowing the car. I put premium in, because it's a premium car, and so I'm one of those anal people, so I like to do it right on the 00, or this damn thing kept going to 01. And I was like, I gotta go another $1. I was like, okay, one more. 01 all over again. It's like a comedy of errors. So
and that's not the comical part of what you just said, because you said I'm an anal person and I like to do it all in one sentence. I was like, isn't this where we left off last week?
Yeah, and here we are.
I'm taking these out. I don't want to hear it.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Wait till we talk about the many. Wait till we talk about the many ways you can use SCOTUS in a sentence. Hey,
So
Damon,
Cameron
I
is
think I've misplaced
writing
my
a
SCOTUS.
story on the Supreme Court.
Mhm.
And for whatever reason, Cameron, I can't even explain it. I don't mind POTUS, I don't mind FLOTUS, but something about SCOTUS, it
Well, when's the
just
last
doesn't
time
work for
you've
me.
had your SCOTUS massage?
Well, see, that's the problem. I don't
Right.
have a SCOTUS. So, oh, I'm sorry. That would be something else. But
Right.
so I asked that we at least not have the word SCOTUS in the headline. The Supreme Court of the United States. Could we just say the Supreme
Not
Court or
no
that kind of thing?
SCOTUS, huh?
No SCOTUS, just in the headline. And so I knew
Yes.
when I wrote it, Cameron. I knew when I said it, I was like, oh, I'm going to catch it. I'm going to
Yeah,
catch
yes.
hell for it.
SCOTUS sound like something that come in pairs.
And in this case, it's a group of 9 very angry people, 6 of them anyway. So
Real close to scroll. Anyway, all right.
yeah, and some of
Yeah.
them don't have one,
How
even
about
though they
that?
should.
Yes.
Yeah. So, oh, Damon, you bring me such joy.
Hey.
Also, a reminder while we are talking about the times and things that are going on, I want to remind folks that the return of daylight saving time this weekend. Please remember to spring ahead an hour Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Hey.
Yeah. For those of us that are working on Saturday nights, remember those when you would spring ahead, you lose an hour and you still got paid. So it is the return of daylight saving time and more daylight hours. So we look forward to that. Absolutely. And spring
Indeed.
is on the come.
That's
How
go
was
ahead.
spring this weekend for you guys?
Oh man, yeah, it was like 60 something on one day. I definitely got outside and went for like a nice like 2 hour long walk. It was really
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I did actually too, because I had a mishap on a flight, and I ended up having to change my flight. Well, American changed my flight
Oh,
unbeknownst to me, but I volunteered and I got that voucher.
okay.
But they changed it from a 10 a.m. to a 3 p.m.
Oh.
at O'Hare.
Oh,
So I don't never fly O'Hare because I'm Southwest dude. But I decided to drive to Lakeshore Drive, and I parked up on recreation area, and I hiked Lakeshore Drive to kill it, and I felt that nice little situation. Yeah.
Wow,
oh,
nice.
Then
that's cool.
and then the next day it was sleet and snow.
Right. Yeah. I thought about you guys, and I just thought that was a great day. I was hoping that people were getting out to enjoy that. We have up and down, like I promise you, it was another 70, almost 80-degree day here, and then the next day it was down in the 30s.
Yeah, when I was in Dallas, it was bananas like that. It
Yep.
was 29 when I arrived, and it was 83 the day I left.
Yep. Yeah.
And it snowed 2 days later.
And there you go. Exactly right. Yeah. So that's our weather report. I do want to make a mention of the fact that the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill has made it to the president's desk. All it needs is his signature. The United States Senate passed it last night, and so they gave their final approval to this legislation. 200 years in the making. Obviously, the anti-lynching bill is among some 200 bills that have been introduced over the past century that have tried to ban lynching in America, and making it a federal crime, a federal hate crime.
Yeah.
And of course, named for the Black teenager who was lynched in 1955 in Money, Mississippi.
Mhm.
At the
So
age of
all
14.
my fellas out there, do not hang any white people. It's now a federal crime.
now you're gonna get it.
Right.
Yeah. Please, by all means. And couple more things I do want to talk about, but we didn't get a chance to mention earlier. What do you think about this SCOTUS decision to their refusal to reverse Bill Cosby's overturned conviction?
Yeah, I saw that. I was not going to write on that because it's Bill, but you kind of can't help but talk about it. He's free now.
He's free for real.
He's free.
They overturned by a vote of 4-3 to leave in place the Pennsylvania Supreme Court's decision from last summer. He's been free that long. So what was that, June or July when he was released, which nullified his 2018 conviction for aggravated indecent assault of Andrea Constan, Oh.
Oh, that'll be the Shih Tzu.
Told you.
Oh,
Oh, but wait a minute. I got the toughest Shih Tzus on in the Shih Tzu game.
oh, okay.
Marco's a killer, just so you know.
I would like to see your Shih Tzus go up against Jackie Reed's Shih Tzus, by the way.
They would destroy them because I chase squirrels with my dogs because
Oh.
I'm manning them up. You know what I mean? I got hunter Shih Tzus.
Okay. Yes.
You heard the bark. That's what happened when you come on the porch or you're in the vicinity. They might not bite you. They're gonna lick your shoes once you get in the house, but at least it gives me time to get the gun.
Okay. The Cosby people are very happy about this. His spokesperson, the dedicated Andrew Wyatt, said on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Cosby and the Cosby family, we would like to offer our sincere gratitude to the justices of the United States Supreme Court for following rules of law and protecting the constitutional rights of all American citizens of these United States. Mr. Cosby's constitutional rights were a reprehensible bait and switch and their cohorts. So he's free and forever and forever. Amen. As an 80-something-year-old man, I don't see this going back to anybody's court anytime soon.
Yeah, I give him until 2025 before Netflix offers him like a redemption arc documentary, and then probably he'll do like one last comedy round tour with like Dave or something.
They talked about that, and then everybody's like, oh no, you don't want to do that. But you think a little bit more time, Cameron, and it'll kind of smooth things out? But
I think so.
So do you think at that point they're going to want to hear Mr. Cosby's ramblings at 85?
Sure. Yeah, man. I think, the way these streaming companies work, they work in terms of like news subscriptions and total views.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that Black people don't provide them news subscriptions.
Right. Yeah, we all share
our
that password.
But we do get them lots of views. So, yeah, I mean, I think a Bill Cosby redemption arc would do them very, very well.
Have either of you watched What About Cosby?
See, that's what I was about to say. I'm a Bill Cosby fan and a comic, and he's one of our heroes of the business, and he did so much, and he was about to do greater things. But after watching that documentary, man, it's like it's hard to fathom him, going back out. I think the only way he could go back out on the road and sell tickets is if they let R. Kelly out and they go out on the We Ain't tour.
But
wow.
We will take your money.
I held the T on that one.
Yes, you did. And I knew it was coming. I didn't know if it was going to be the We Ain't Ish tour or if it was
We Ain't tour. I just don't know who will open because they both got egos.
Oh my gosh. And we know they don't know how to close the deal either. So let's talk football news.
Oh.
Anybody surprised by the trade of Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos from the Seattle Seahawks?
Super shocking. I mean, because Russell has meant so much to that franchise.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, it's news to me because I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So this is my initial reaction. Like you kidding?
I'm telling you. 6 years and a day after Peyton Manning retired, the Denver Broncos believe they got their franchise quarterback back in the name of Russell Wilson. The general manager agreed to send a bunch of players and draft picks to the Seattle Seahawks for the 9-time Pro Bowl quarterback Russell Wilson, and the negotiations are said to be underway.
Hey, well, the Broncos came up though because they get Russell and Sierra.
Okay.
Right, and all she got to do is she gonna get down there with the Denver Broncettes. I don't know if that's what they call it, but they should. The Denver Broncettes, and they're gonna turn up. And she got to be happier to get out of Seattle because Seattle's a dismal, rainy place.
Yeah, now she gets like alpine skiing and mountains
and furs, lots of furs.
Yeah, the boots with the fur.
Yes, up to here.
Yeah,
and honestly, the climate in Colorado is beautiful. Even when it's winter, it's not unbearable. So that's a blessing for their family. I don't know what the Seattle Seahawks, what they'll receive in return for that, but I'm sure it's a lot.
I'm telling you, they got players, they got draft picks, they got And I think they got all of the weed that Denver can send
And
to
they
Seattle
probably
because
threw
they
in
needed
Keisha
it.
Cole too. Like we need we need an R&B singer though. So they was like, all right, well Keisha Cole, she probably available. We did
That's funny.
6 draft picks and Keisha Cole.
It's now time to take a look at what's really going on. It's our question of the day, and this is in honor of International Women's Day. So the question is, who's the woman who deserves a shout out today? We yesterday we had Employee Appreciation Day. Whether you know her or not, she could be in this country or not. It could be somebody, Cam, that you saw in a magazine, and you're like, "Hey, I'd like to say hello to this woman." And for our viewers and our listeners, it could be you. What woman gets your salute today? You got a house full of women that you can give a salute to, Damon, and as you can as well, Cameron. And also, Cameron, we're going to talk about your Shero, a great article that you wrote for the newsletter as we get into the What You Need to Know segment. So the
Well,
question, ladies and
since
gentlemen, is who deserves that salute?
I'm going to give a salute to Elenia Bola, who is my mother-in-law,
Aw.
who is over here holding down the household and frying foods in the house. I'm telling you, the smell of fried foods has not, because my wife got the air fryer, she the healthy
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
No, this is black. She brought her own black skillet.
Oh,
We
you were
got
serious.
smothered potatoes. We got pork chops. And I don't even eat pork, but I'm about to. I'm about to get me about to get 2 pieces of light bread, like Anthony Brown call it. I'm gonna put some mustard on it and some onions and some pork chop. Elenia Bola, shout out to you tonight. Thank you for
Ooh.
being here.
Nice. So she came to take care of her baby girl, to feed her baby girl's husband, and keep the household running. That is a beautiful thing. That's what I'm talking about. Yesterday, Damon, we had the conversation and talking about employee appreciation, and a gentleman from North Carolina saluted his wife, said that she's been lifting him up for 32 years. And that's what brought to mind that we would do this today, because I do think that, International Women's Day, the National Women's History Month, all of those things that we do and talk about in the newsletter, we deserve to do it on It's Sybil as well. So, young Cameron, what do you think? Where do you start?
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, this is a very
Somebody about to be mad.
Yeah, it's a very divisive question.
Well, you can make it as difficult or as simple as you like until I get into it.
I probably have to chalk it up to my aunt. Her name is Tracy Townsend. She's probably watching right now, but
Nice.
but she's been caring for. She's been the primary caregiver for my grandmother as she had recovered from her stroke, and she has been taking care of her, getting her out of bed and exercising with her, making sure that she's fed and things like that. And so without her, really, my mom is like the CEO of the family, but I jokingly consider my aunt like the chief operations officer.
Okay.
So she's really been holding down the fort for us on that front, and to the plethora of you all out there taking care of disabled older ones knows how time consuming that is, and it's been wonderful to have my aunt just really do that for us. So.
And that you're absolutely right, and you talk about caregivers and the necessity of that, and we have absolutely seen that up close and personal with our own Yolanda Starks White and her husband Ward taking care of Mr. White, and this is it's so great to have the ability to take care of your loved ones, whatever stage they are, but it's something very special in the people who take on those roles. It really is.
It's so vital. If you have the opportunity, people don't rely on rehab centers or nursing homes, because they're only going to do so much. And there are some caring professionals that do certain things, but no one's going to love your loved one like you do. So by all means, when my dad was going through his rehab in different situations, we were all there for him, because even if you're not, if they're doing a good job, but if you're not there and they feel nobody else cares, then they're more negligent. So at least show up. You might not be able to take on the full burden, and don't feel guilty about that. but at least show up and show that love. Seriously.
Yeah.
And take care of the caregivers when
Right.
you
That too.
can. You know, I remember, Cameron, we were talking about this once before, and you were talking about, taking your grandmother places, but also taking care of your aunt and making
Mhm.
sure that she gets out. What was, I think you guys were going bowling or something, and, just opportunities for her to get some time away as well. I think that's especially important.
Was that your
Yeah.
mom or your aunt that came to Riddles with you?
Oh, that was my mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But my aunt likes to go bowling. She likes to, and she goes bowling like once or twice a week or
Oh,
so.
nice.
Yeah. So we like to
So
make
does
it
my
an easy
mother-in-law.
time
She's a
too.
league bowler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I used to bowl with a group of girls called the Couch Potatoes.
But at least they got off the couch.
We got off the couch and we would roll the ball.
That's a good bowling name too.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
And the beer was great too. We have some people who have suggestions and would like to make their shout out. So let's take a look at what they have. Karen Vaughn on YouTube says, I salute my mother, 93-year-old mother of 12, now fighting dementia. God bless you, Karen Vaughn's mom. Oh, bless her heart. Well, we'll send prayers up for both of you all. Shirley Ann Tony Davis on Facebook says, I'm going with Mrs. Clara Looper and Mrs. Nancy Davis Dungy High School in Oklahoma, now closed. So both of those women, we salute you, Mrs. Clara Looper and Mrs. Nancy Davis. Oh, nice. Janet Ferguson on Facebook. Michelle Obama for all she had to go through in that White House. And also my mother, who passed away 11 years ago today. Well, God bless you, Janet Ferguson. I know that 11 years ago, for some, seems like a long time. And for some of us, it seems only like yesterday. And yeah. And for Mrs. Obama, whatever she went through, and she did go through a lot as the first Black First Lady and being the helpmate of the first Black president. But I hope that she's getting her goods in spades right now, and that, she's living the good life that she absolutely deserves. But
and
a shout
she
out.
Absolutely is. Believe that. She no longer has to go to the salon, I guarantee you.
Okay. And she doesn't have to do anything she don't want to do, and she can do it in some very well-appointed homes around the country.
And I feel like she got them together in the White House within the first year of the first term. Between her and her mother.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that's a good person to salute too, Damon, Mrs. Robinson.
Yes.
When you think about the first grandmother, which we don't normally see in the White House, even some of the occupants who are grandparents, but how Mrs. Robinson, left her home in Chicago and put herself in that spotlight. And you think, well, how difficult can it be in the White House? That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot as you are supporting your daughter, your son-in-law, and helping to raise your children. That's a lot. And I hope that you're well, Mrs. Robinson.
Indeed, she should be. But we do things differently. And we showed them that as soon as they moved in, he brought mom-in-law. And my man G-Thing has a joke about it. He said she Michelle and her mama, one was in the West Wing, one was in the East Wing, because it ain't going to be no Lewinsky's taking place.
Mama, I'm over here. You go over there. Oh, my God.
Michelle brought her mama. You understand me?
Okay.
Shouts out to Gary G-Thing Johnson. That's my hope.
Yeah. This is a really great opportunity to salute those very special women. And Damon, I want to salute you in terms of the way that you involve women in your professional life as well as your personal life. You have a wonderful wife that you love and respect. You have her family there with you now. But you also have women who work with you. You're one of those. You and Guy Torrey are the two names that come to mind who really support women in this business.
So does Marvin Dixon. I want to throw him in there as well.
Okay.
He definitely does. Marvin always books ladies because we understand, first of all, the dynamic is you want to have multiple views, what I'm saying, viewpoints. And then women are 75% of your audience in comedy. Only men are there are men that are there with women. There's never a group of guys at a table like we're gonna go out and do some comedy.
Right.
They don't do that.
Right.
You know, so you want to have something that makes it more enjoyable, but also I understand the struggle that they go through, you know, because women are always, you know, subjected to being less than in the industry. So in comedy, some of the funniest people in this business are women. And, you know, Sherry Shepherd is proof of that. Kim Whitley, Wanda Sykes, some more is a boss in the game.
Oh my gosh,
you know,
yes.
Adele Givens, you know, bosses, they go out and they do their thing. Monique, you know, so the up and comers and the ones that are going through it and I like to give them, you know, the neutrality of not being considered female comics. Like I'll bring up this next, we got a female coming to the stage, you know, because women, they shut me down for that and told me that we just prefer to be a comedian. But they also don't have to be harassed, you know what I mean? Because some guys, they'll book you if you're cute, but they expect something, you know, you want to come, you want to get booked, you know, hook me up. And I'll, you know, yeah. So, I mean, I went through that too because I'm cute. But anyway.
I bet you did.
It was this little old lady that owned the club. Anyway.
She gets.
I was like, you know what? You know, I gotta pay the fare. I gotta feed the family, but this ain't gonna happen, ma'am. But in all honesty, it really is. I thank you for pointing that out because I am an advocate for ladies in comedy or women in comedy, and they do a fantastic job.
And also, I will also tell you that Damon will also talk not only lovingly about his wife, but how funny she is. And
hilarious.
Yeah.
In this household, she is Lucy and I'm Ricky. I'm the support on the jokes. My wife, man, between her, she can do impressions. She's spot on her time, and if I could get her to do it, she'd be my opening act. But if I get her to do it, I might end up opening for her.
Okay.
Which would be a reverse from being at home.
Yeah, at home. Yeah. Ting.
She's the only opener around here.
Okay. And she likes it that way. Okay. So Cam, besides your aunt, and tell us about some of those other women you want to give a shout out to.
Oh man, you know, there are so many out here just on the front lines, you know, doing the good work. Of course, the honorable former Black Panther, Sheila McNary. Of course, we have Brenda Palms Barber of the North Lawndale Employment Network. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And of course, the one and only Pastor Roshona Fitzpatrick, who I don't know if you all recall, but there was a moment when the demonstrations around George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, like,
well, hold on to your discussion about that, because we are going to mention that, because that is the shero that you wrote about in the newsletter. So we will talk about Pastor Fitzpatrick. And because I don't want to take away from that moment in the discussion about the newsletter, because it's a beautiful story. It really is. And this woman in Lawndale who, or as Cameron wrote in the story, for the Lawndalians, I had no idea. I had no idea they were called Lawndalians.
I think he coined that. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at it. And you should really trademark that. And someday in a future Star Trek, they're going to use that. But you do talk write beautifully about Pastor Fitzpatrick. So we will talk about that. Cameron, talk about your mom, because we saluted her over the holidays when we did some of our shows, and she's just a remarkable woman.
Yeah, I mean, my mom is the chief executive officer of our family unit. You know, everything that happens, all of her products, which are us, she is certainly responsible for the development of. And my mom, you know, after she and my dad split, which was during those very necessary teenage years, it was just her and the four of us, me and my three other sisters, and she was running us around to each of our own enrichment activities, making sure that we were out of the house as possible, but still she was still very committed to developing students that were above average and excelled.
That's
and
cool.
and she never let us saw her sweat. I only remember it one time, really. I remember it once.
Well, you know what? Those are the moments that mean the most, and that stay with us, and so we will continue to lift up and to salute those people who are so important in our lives. And as I said, we're going to move on to in the What You Need to Know section from the newsletter and talk about another woman that you saluted in the newsletter in our Shero section. So let's talk about the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our daily Monday through Friday newsletter. It's absolutely free. Please go to sybilwilkes.com and subscribe, and you will have it in your email box first thing Monday through Friday morning. We have a number of issues that we cover: politics, we cover SCOTUS, we cover coronavirus, we cover health and black health and fitness, all of these different things, and HBCU Corner. So please take a look, and we think that you'll enjoy it and enjoy the work of especially the fine young people that we have writing for us. So
let me just add to that: mental health, finance, taxes. Get the newsletter, people. Seriously.
Thank you, Damon. We appreciate that. Yeah. We have a finance and business section, and a wonderful CPA who is helping us as we are well into the tax season. Before we get to our Shero story, tell us about the former governor's attempted comeback. The former governor of New York's attempted comeback, Khameron.
Oh yeah. So everybody gets a redemption arc nowadays. We had Kanye get a redemption arc. I'm pretty sure Bill Cosby's going to get one. Andrew Cuomo is getting a redemption arc as well. He was cited in New York at a church giving a speech, speaking out against cancel culture, saying, God is not through with me yet. That his actions, seriously, and while his actions were not inappropriate, he didn't break the law, and people have been, and people really liked Cuomo. Before he was, put out, he said he was, the victim of a witch, of a power-hungry people in Albany, and people have been wondering, is he going to run again? What's going on? And I can only speak in theoreticals, and I can only speak toward the facts. But the fact of the matter is that Andrew Cuomo has a multi-million-dollar fund of campaign donations just sitting around, and he can't use that to pay anyone or pay himself unless he's launching some sort of campaign. So I don't know what's happening, but it seems like, to me, I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to run for something to have access to that money.
Interesting. Everybody deserves a second chance, but I'm not sure how
culture should just get to step in. Cancel culture only works on Black people.
And here's the other thing. He's had a great life. He's never wanted for anything. His father was a governor of New York. He eventually took over the job, and was really at the height of the pandemic, or as it was getting started and was running rampant throughout the country, especially in the state of New York. And he was holding the daily press conferences and really taking hold of this pandemic, this virus, the way that the president at the time was not. And when Democrats were searching for a presidential candidate, and they had 2 rooms full of them, but they were looking at Andrew Cuomo as perhaps to be the one to step in and to take the lead. But that sexual harassment thing, that sex component, it has brought down many a person, a man and woman. But
I was just about to say that too. In New York, he was the face of fighting COVID. It was the epicenter, and he was doing a great job, and his approval rating was amazing, and even his daily updates, and he was going downstate and other places. But these damn penises, they are man's biggest downfall throughout the history of time. I'm pretty sure if Adam was a eunuch, he wouldn't have bit the apple. So ever since then, I'm telling you, you're absolutely right.
You're
It's
right.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Gary Hart, when he went, the guy that was running for president, he
Hmm.
would have been president, and we wouldn't have had that whole run with the Republicans. Bill Clinton, his legacy is tarnished. Cosby, Kills, the list goes on and on and on, and it's sad that we don't have that type of control. Because it's ruining opportunities. But ladies, that goes to show you the power that you possess.
Yeah.
Because if y'all control the emotion and your parts, then y'all running the world. And it's coming. It's right
Yeah.
now.
It's
Yeah.
the time is now, and to see some differences in a swing in that balance of power. But you're right. And you just have funny visuals of like Gary Hart on a boat with a woman, not his wife, and the picture was taken of him on the boat, and the name of the boat was Monkey Business.
Yes.
You remember
It
that,
should have been
David?
called. It should have been called Tricking Off.
And it ain't tricking if you got it.
Man, who said tricking
No,
was easy?
it's tricking if you get caught.
Yeah, yeah, for real, for real. So just give it your best guess, Cameron. What do you think will happen from this?
Yeah, it is my theory that Andrew Cuomo is going to do a couple more speaking tours, trying to use the money to pay people, I think, so because he doesn't want to give it all back. And I don't think he'll try and take a swing at governor, but he'll probably settle for a
President.
Yeah, he may pull one of the long shots and go for like a presidential run.
And then there's Senate out there. He probably would do better in the private sector. I mean, he's still
sure.
a popular figure, and most white males are not going to shun him because he chased tail. So he's not. Don't cry for Cuomo.
Right.
Don't.
Look at
and he's had generational wealth. He'll be all right.
And
Yeah,
look at Governor Spitzer. You remember he got caught with the prostitutes in in D.C. and carrying them across state lines or whatever that was. And he's done very well. He too, was not lacking for any funds. And as a matter of fact, he was hired by CNN at one point.
Weiner was out there too, running around.
Oh, but don't forget Anthony Weiner, and
Yeah.
and now he brought down his wife's career, and perhaps even did some damage to Hillary Clinton's campaign as a result of that relationship. So Weiner, the blind governor David. What was the black guy? He was blind, and he was a former governor. He took over after
he was the
Spitzer.
lieutenant governor, took
Yeah,
over. Yeah.
yeah. So, and he didn't last. I mean, he had some things going on too. So
He was out here seeing other people.
I mean, New York is almost as bad as the state of Illinois when it comes to governors. And we have a whole wing. Thank you, Patterson. Thank you, Arnett. Thank you, Deborah Clark Fairfax on Facebook as well. David Patterson was the former governor, lieutenant governor, and then governor of New York State. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And maybe he and his brother will get a podcast, and they'll do very well together.
They'll be all right. Yeah. Trust me. Don't cry for the Cuomo.
Okay. Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Speaking of crying, not crying, but a lot of questions about where is Brittany Griner. The WNBA star is being held in Russia by authorities after the airport officials, the drug officials at the airport, a canine unit, reportedly found some cannabis oil and vaping pens in her luggage.
Wow.
She was arrested sometime in February. They say that she has been held for 3 weeks. And the news report just came out a few days ago that she was being held and not getting much information. Even the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, is not saying much, even though, allegedly they're working to get all the people being held, Americans being held in Russia out. 2 of them are from Texas. One is a former military man who was actually one of the presidential guards in the Obama administration, and Brittany Griner, who grew up in Houston, went to school at Baylor. And so a lot of people in Texas are putting their all their attention on these two people, but most definitely Brittany Griner. In the WNBA, the NBA, the Players Association, all these people say, we're trying to get us some information, and there's a great deal of concern because they're not being attended to. Obviously, they're concerned about her mental health, her mental state. The soldier that was arrested from Texas doesn't get a chance. He's been there for a year. He does not get a chance to obviously call his family very often. And the last time he called him, he said that he is suffering from tuberculosis and they're not treating it. And so we don't know what these things like, because she's a celebrity. Even so, we don't know how she's being treated. And especially now that Russia's at war.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, especially for something like that, because, casually you think that it's practically legal here. But everybody should consider. Don't go to Mexico. Don't go to Jamaica. Don't go, overseas with that in your situation, because other places have different laws and rules. And the last thing you want to end up is in a Russian jail. And as you stated, Sybil, especially during a time of war.
Yeah.
Right. And Damon, the other thing that I pointed out in this is that she's been playing in Russia for, I think, since 2014, 2015 in the off season. And they do that. They go to foreign countries to play because they don't make enough here.
Right.
A lot of this could have been eliminated, ladies and gentlemen of the NBA, the WNBA, if more money was given to these women who play. And
so was she trying to leave Russia with it in her luggage and they found it? Or
so this is the question, because some people said that she was accused of trafficking. So trafficking means bringing it into the country.
Or trafficking, either way it goes, it means you're trying to, sell it. And that's a different thing. If you got caught with something in your bag, and you're trying to just get through, that's one thing. But if you got supplies, then that's the issue, I'm sure.
But now the Russian government's saying that they're holding her on the premise that there's a larger drug investigation going on, which is complete BS.
Well, and we know that, but they will say that, and they'll continue to stand by that. But the drug trafficking can bring a sentence of up to 10 years.
Yeah, we need to really extend her and her family our prayers, and definitely extend her some grace, and circulate this as well.
Yeah. There is a petition on change.org if people want to go to that and sign it. Thousands of people have already signed the petition, trying to get some information and calling for the American government to step in. And as I said, the Secretary of State, he's got a lot on his plate right now, but certainly not the least of which is removing these Americans who are probably the most high-profile political pawns in this situation. Not to mention the millions of people trying to get out of Ukraine, but this is also important to the American
public. And this
is
the one time when Donald Trump could be useful. Like Rodman went over to North Korea, and Jesse Jackson went over there and got people out. Yep. Maybe Trump can go and get these people released, and then he can redeem himself. But that's his boy.
That Rocky out of London.
So everybody tweet. You can't tweet him.
No, because he doesn't. Yeah.
Everybody get him. Send a telegram to Donald Trump to get these Americans back home.
That's funny. Cameron, I'm afraid I haven't left you much time, but please tell people within the next minute or so about Pastor of on the west side of Chicago amongst the Londelians.
Okay.
Fitzpatrick.
The abbreviated version is that when the pandemic first started, Chicago closed all the stores. Everybody was starving. I remember having to drive out of my neighborhood across the city for hours just to look for some toothpaste, because all the Walgreens and all the grocery stores were closed because of the protest or what have you. And at a Stone Temple Baptist Church in North Lawndale, there is the great Pastor Roshona Fitzpatrick who opened up not only what she calls a love fridge, where she just puts all the produce from her fridge. Anybody can get it at any time for free. But she also opened up a weekly food giveaway that she calls Soup for the Soul, which is more of like a community event now, where we would gather and we would cook like
And you were a part
hundreds
of her
of
crew.
soup. Yeah, yep.
And you still do it?
Yeah, yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we gather weekly and we cook a bunch of soup for folks, and it's a way of quickly getting people a nice, healthy, and nutritious meal once a week. And people hang around the church and talk and commune in a very peaceful gathering. It's been beautiful to see it develop. We're looking for like a home kitchen if anyone has any place out there, but yeah, it's just been a great thing. And Pastor Shona is like one of the greatest people on earth. She's just a woman who's always willing to collaborate and make something out of nothing, and it's been a huge honor to get to know her.
So take a look at the newsletter, and as I said, these letters that are written, like yours, Cameron, and Yolanda's, these are love letters written about these incredible women, the sheroes amongst us. And if you have one that you would like to nominate and to write about, please send your letters, send your story to Sybil at SybilWilkes.com, and we'd love to publish it this month as we pay tribute to the women and the sheroes amongst us. Let us look at entertainment. And I wanted to bring this up because we didn't get a chance to talk about it the other day, and I was trying to get to it during the show, and Chris Paul kind of brought me back to reality with another story. But I did want to pay tribute to the late great Johnny Brown. The star of Good Times, played the superintendent, the building superintendent, Bookman. And he was just a delightful man and an incredible talent, the man of a zillion voices, as folks like to say. And Damon, had you ever had a chance to meet him or to work with him?
No, I'm sure by the time I got in the game, he was like on the twilight of his, especially live performances. But I've seen him do not only on Good Times, on game shows and other things where he would do impressions and voices. Yeah, and not just black people. He would do every John Wayne and all type of things. So old Buffalo, but as they like to call him. Yeah, he was a dynamic guy, and his hair was dope.
He had some great hair, didn't he?
Yeah, he had the butters.
Exactly. Yeah, he was a tremendous talent, a long-ranging career, and also the father of a really great actress too, Sharon Brown. And the first time I ever saw her was in Chicago, and she did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at one of the theaters downtown Chicago. And she is an amazing talent as well. So she is a chip off the old block. And
where was he from?
Originally from, I want to say it was the East Coast, but they lived in California. And he had just been to the doctor, have his pacemaker checked, and went home and succumbed. 84 years old. So this was a big surprise to the family, and devastation and heartbreak. So our prayers and salute go out to him and his family, because he was just a delight to watch on that show, and everybody to a person on that show, in sending their condolences, talked about what a great professional he was and what a kind and gentle man he was as well. So let us finally close out with Yogi's Jewel, our daily inspiration. And guys, this is today: don't give up on the thought that most people are good. I would say you two don't. You two are probably two of the more optimistic people I know. But there are some of us that need to be reminded. Don't give up on the thought that most people are good. And when I say optimistic, I mean your outlook on humanity and the kindness that you both possess. I think that you are two fine examples of that.
It makes three of us, Sybil. Thank you as well. And Yogi, God bless you with your daily jewels, because it's got to be hard. I know some days you want to just say, well, bananas and pineapples are different. But Just remember the skin on the pineapple is to protect the sweetness.
Damon, you might hear that next week.
I think more appropriate, Yogi's probably more uncensored jewels are. Learn the F.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time, guys, and we will see you next week. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good one. Aloha.
Great show. Thank you.